what comes first? Now what? What do I do? This is like for real now. You know, it's like a real thing. I hope everything goes well. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm getting so excited. Hello. This is an interesting filming setup for me. Definitely not my usual. I am outside on my balcony. It is 87 degrees, but it's windy, which is not ideal for any sort of filming, but you know, here we are. Crazy hair and all. So I asked on Instagram this week what you wanted me to talk about on YouTube, and surprisingly, an overwhelming amount wanted me to talk about wedding stuff because your girl is engaged. Very exciting. And wedding planning and the whole process is so much work, and it's a lot more work than I think I had ever anticipated. You know, you grow up kind of knowing a little bit about like what you want your wedding to look like, at least I did. But then when you get there, you're like, okay, like what comes first? Now what? What do I do? And, you know, being someone who I currently live away from all of my family, me and David, my fiance, we live in a different state. It's kind of weird because a lot of it, like we're kind of doing it on our own. And so it's definitely been a little bit of a process. So maybe I can be like your big sister in this, or like your bestie and share sort of like what I'm doing and like the journey with you, because I don't really know what I'm doing either. You know, we can just struggle together. That's just what we do. So sit back, relax, grab your passion fruit green tea boba, which is almost gone. And yeah, let's get into some wedding talk. A lot of people were asking me if I knew that David was going to propose, and the answer is yes, I did. Personally, I didn't think that took away any of the magic of it, because if anything, I was really excited. Leading up to it, I think when you kind of have that feeling and you know it's going to happen, it brings on an excitement of like,
okay, when is it going to happen? What is he going to do? What is he planning?
And even on the day, I very much had an inkling that it was going to happen. He was kind of acting very funny. I think a lot of men do that. But even just like the surprise of, whoa, lots of wind. Even just the surprise of like what he actually planned for us was so special. We got engaged in like a very private way with my friend who is a photographer, and she took our pictures, and my other friend was helping him. So two of my friends were there, which was like the best, and the pictures are beautiful. The memory was beautiful. I'm so happy that he arranged like getting photos done, because that's like so me. And then we get to have that memory. You know, we have a photo and videos as well. So after the actual proposal, the next steps are, for most people at least, is wedding planning. And I guess I had never really thought of that part. Like I always had like glamorized the actual proposal part in my head. Like it's gonna be amazing and this and that. But you don't really think about the next steps. Like,
oh, okay, like now we sit down and we like talk about these things.
Because we talked about obviously getting married and like what the wedding would look like and things like that. But like this is like for real now. You know, it's like a real thing. So I remember, I think we gave it like 2 days of being engaged. And then we were like, okay, so wedding. What are we doing? Sorry, the wind is like really picking up right now, so I'm gonna look a little crazy, but we're just gonna deal with it, right? That's it. So the first thing that we sat down and like really thought about was location, right? Because like I said, we both live away from our family, and so we decided to not do it here where we live. We are doing it in another state, which also adds a little bit of complication, because when you're not in the same space and the same state, the same location as where you're going to be having your wedding, it makes things a little bit trickier. So we are now in month 2 of being engaged, but we don't have a venue yet. We will be traveling next month to secure our venue, which again adds a little bit of complication to it, because like I do wish that we could book more things now, but because we don't have a date and we don't have a venue, it makes things a little bit harder. So really the first step is figuring that out. Like, where do you want to have it? And come up with a list of a couple of venues. We, did some Google searching. We talked with some family who lives in the area, and we came up with a couple of different venue options. And then we made appointments of, visiting those venues, which is going to be a little bit crazy because, like I said, we're coming from out of town and we're actually visiting both of our families. So we will do 2 days of wedding dress shopping, which I'm very excited about, 2 days of venue tours, and 2 different engagement parties in the matter of a week. So life is going to be certainly crazy during that time, but crazy in the best way. I think the next thing that I probably did, like an actual concrete thing that I did, was my bridesmaids. When I was thinking of who I wanted my bridesmaids to be, the only thing that came to my mind was family. To me, your family is just so special. And I've heard so many stories of people, you know, they have their bridesmaids and they get into fights, or you know, they don't talk to them, and now it's 20 years later, you're looking at your wedding photos and you're like, oh, I don't even talk to any of my bridesmaids anymore, which just makes me so sad at the thought of that. And although I love all my friends and I would love for everybody to be a bridesmaid, it is such a special role that to me, you know, I looked at it as I would love to have my family members be my bridesmaids. So my bridesmaids consist of family, cousins, David's sisters. Very exciting. Ugh, the hair, it's driving me nuts. I shouldn't have recorded outside. But basically, once I had that list down, I wanted to send them a little gift, a little care package with a handwritten note, just asking them to be a bridesmaid, and luckily all of them said yes. And now we're in the journey of kind of getting everything completed. Again, like I said, there's not really much that we can do since we're not in the same location as the venue, and once we have the date finalized, once we have the venue finalized, I'll be able to do a lot more. But as of right now, that's really the most that we've done with planning. But of course, there are so many other things that go into it. Like I've been kind of playing around with my color scheme, doing it on Canva. I'm a very branding type of person, obviously. I'm a social media manager, and so color schemes, branding, all of that is like very much up my alley. So picking out the color scheme and stuff, it has actually been quite hard just because I can't commit to one. Like I'm like really struggling with what color palette I want to go, like which direction I want to go. But that has actually been really fun. And then also like creating a Pinterest board. I think at least most little girls have some sort of idea of like their fairy tale wedding, right? Obviously, that's not just inclusive to little girls. Anybody can dream of their wedding. And so for me, a Pinterest board is like so exciting because I'm able to kind of put together those fairy tale elements that I always had as a kid and envision them coming to life. With that being said, though, I have no idea what I want my dress to look like. Zero clue. And that will have to be a thing that I figure out as I go dress shopping next month. One thing that I do want to bring up, because it was a comment that I got on Instagram, was the pressure from other people about your wedding, which I know is really, really, really common. Luckily, with our families, there really hasn't been too much pressure in terms of like what to do, what this should look like, what we should do here. Also, we are in the beginning stages of planning, so that may change. I'm very lucky in that aspect that most of our family members have said, you know, this is your wedding and you can do what you want, which is amazing. So if you are someone who maybe you're nervous about that happening to you in the future, of that kind of opinions being thrown in there, or maybe you're in the midst of this and you're like, this really sucks, and I feel like I have a million opinions going on, I urge you to literally just remember that, like, ideally, this is the only day you're going to be getting married in your entire life, and you want it to be as special as you can, right? And so keeping true to, hey, insert family member's name here, like this is my wedding. Obviously keeping in mind that if, you know, a family member is generous enough to like pay for something that may, I hate to say it because it shouldn't give them the right to tell you what to do with the money that they give you, you know what I'm saying? But at least like keep their suggestions in mind. But overall, it is your day. And so if there is somebody who's trying to kind of take that over from you, have a conversation. You know, there's nothing wrong with just like sitting down and being like, hey, like, listen, this is the one time in my life that I get to do this, and I really just want it to be what I want to do, you know? I know it's such a tricky subject. Again, I'm very grateful that, like, at least as of right now, I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to knock on wood, but at least as of right now, that really hasn't happened to me too much yet. But I know it's so common, and so I really just hope that you can stand your ground, and regardless, it's going to be such a good day. I know this is kind of like a very brief recap, simply because of the fact that I don't have many things to talk about because we haven't really gotten too much started or going, because we don't have a date yet. so we need to get that first. But as I do more and as we think of more and all of that, I would love to take you on the journey because, you know, it's a cool time capsule for me to look back on and hear myself, you know, speak about all these different things and ideas and whatever. But also, like, if you're someone who feels like you don't have a lot of help with your wedding, I want you to be able to watch this video coming from someone right now who I feel like I'm doing a lot by myself because we don't really have any family members here, and we haven't really been able to get started yet, so I feel like I'm doing a lot on my own. I really hope that at least you can watch some of these videos that I'm going to create over the next couple of months, and at least it gives you like a little friend to do this with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, next steps for us are, oh my God, this is the last time I'm filming outside, I swear. So anyways, next steps for us are venues, picking out my dress, photographer, videographer, catering. There's so much that goes into a wedding, it's not even funny. And something very fun, which is we're going to be doing engagement parties, like I said, and also an engagement photo shoot, which I'm very excited for. So lots to look forward to. I will bring you along these steps of the journey as much as I can, also without like exposing too much to you, because you know, there are some things that I want to keep private to myself, obviously. I'm sure you can understand that. And some things that I don't want you to see until the wedding. Duh. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, if you watched this far, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want more content like this, let me know. It really helps to kind of know what topics you want to talk about. And honestly, I was really, really excited to hear that wedding was #1 on the on the requested topics list this week. So if there's anything else that you particularly want to hear or want to chat about, I'm always open to hearing it. Leave it in the comments and I will make a video on it. Maybe, probably. I don't know. My hair is getting a little crazy, so I'm going to stop filming. But I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Definitely subscribe because I'm going to be posting a lot more just like this one as I go along in my wedding journey. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!